In this episode of Safety Optional, we replace almost the entire fuel system on our 1991 Jeep Cherokee Briarwood project, and we get it running. Well friends, we're back at it again tonight, and I'm going to try to see if I can do a little bit more diagnostic work on this thing, figure out the security system. I did get online on some forums, and I found somebody that recommended finding a light green with orange stripe wire in the driver, or dark green with orange stripe wire in the passenger kick panel, and grounding that should disarm the factory alarm until the ground pin is removed. Without further ado, I'm going to get started. I grounded that pin down there, and it made the thing stop. That pin right there, that wire, and it made it stop. So, moment of truth. How much you want to bet that's part of the problem? We gotta get some gas and put in the tank. Well folks, today has turned into tomorrow, and I am feeling greatly rested and refreshed. And of course, you know, over the evening you have a little bit of time to think, and I was like, the fuel system, as I alluded to in the previous video, was that it was a little bit suspect. So went out this morning and hit the auto parts store, and let's see, new fuel pump acquired. As I was thinking about it, when I was trying to crank this, the fuel gauge was over on E and the little light was trying to come on. But last night, as I was trying to pull the pump, it was clear that there was quite a bit of fuel still in this tank. So I know the fuel sending unit, the whole thing is probably bad. I can see corrosion on it when I just peeked at it. And the fuel in there is the most foul stuff I've ever encountered. So I picked up a siphon pump. I'm gonna siphon the old gas out as much as I can, and change out the fuel pump. I'm gonna change out the fuel filter. I'm also gonna get some compressed air and blow out the fuel lines. And I'm gonna cross my fingers and pray and hope that the fuel injectors are okay. I'm gonna get started swapping out this fuel pump, and we'll just take it from there. Oh man, it is it's real bad. Oh gosh. Ugh. Got gas on me again. This is the fuel sending unit, and this is the gasket. Yeah, this is the fuel line, that the pressurized fuel line. If it had been working, you could tell that would have blown off instantly. That, oh gosh, just corroded right off. It wasn't even connected. Oh yeah, that one just came right off too. And this would be the level indicator, although I can tell right now, if this thing did float, there's nothing here making connection, so that absolutely would not have worked in any way. And this wire is just hanging for, wow, it just completely disintegrated. Unfortunately, what that means is, and the sock is not on here, all of this crap is in the tank, so I'm gonna have just to completely drop the tank. Ugh. I'll be dang, these little siphon pumps do work. We'll let that thing run and see if it can drain the fuel out of the tank. It's a real pain to drop the fuel tank in these things. There's a couple straps, you can see one hanging down on the other side, that you loosen that nut and it lowers down a little bit, and then you can just unhook that tab on the end. But you still have to get past the filler hose here, and you can kind of see down in there, you can't access the clamps for that from anywhere but underneath. And this Jeep has this shield here, sheet metal thing protecting it. So the procedure is to take these two bolts out and bend it out of the way, and then you can access everything there. And I'm sure the hose is just going to be just seized onto the end of that, and I'll be up here wrangling that. It's not fun, but it's necessary. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, let's see if this thing's going to come out of here. Moses. Oh lordy. Oh, he had a full tank of gas in this thing. Just, oh man, it is just, oh, it's just red in there. Oh man. Okay, I just took the sock out of there, and I took 2 or 3 grabs with my little getter because it was just so disintegrated. Look at the other debris on the bottom in there. Yuck. Okay, with the fuel tank out, now I think it's time to shift gears for a little bit. I'm gonna let that tank dry out a little bit, let the fumes in it evaporate and the gunk inside dry out a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and get this off my trailer. Whew. All right. Yeah, it's been a frustrating few moments though, because this baby does not want to roll. But I might have this thing sitting outside my driveway. It needs to look a lot better. I think it's time to give it a bath. Before we dive into it, let's just take a look at this thing. Look at the crud here on there. Look at look at the roof. And this stuff kind of brushes off, but this mold down here on the windows, it's on there. There's just gunk in all the crevices. So this is gonna take a little time, but I'm gonna take my time with it. Let's see what we can do first. Well, today has now turned into this evening, and getting ready to call it a night. But let's just take a look around this thing now that it is clean and just admire it for what it is. Got the hood cleaned. Not everything came off, partly because this has been repainted and it's a single stage paint with no clear coat. And so it's just kind of got this matte finish that's going to be there forever, but it also means these stains just do not come off. But the windshield came clean. There's still some residue around here that I'm gonna have to get with a razor blade. The roof was just horrific, but a lot of the stuff came off of it. All the mold came off of the windows. And look how well this wood grain is holding up, just fantastic. The running boards are cleaned up, but those fiberglass running boards have just faded. Back's nice and clean. Passenger side nice and clean. Need to air up the tires a little bit, but all in all, she's looking darn good. So unfortunately, she's gonna be blocking my driveway for a little while because I don't have anywhere to put her, and I can't move her very well. I had to tow it or winch it with the other Jeep just to get it off the trailer. So the hope will be to get the fuel system fixed and get her back running again so she can be moved around. And yes, the blessed Briarwood badge did fall off, but I will remedy that. That will be fixed very soon. For now, she goes in a place of honor along with the Georgia Kelly and Dusan Bogdanovich cassette box. Under the hood, now she's still drying off from getting cleaned earlier, but man, got all the gunk off of here. Everything came pretty clean. I know I'm going to be doing a valve cover job at some point to redo the gasket, so I made sure that I cleaned around it extra good. But other than some remaining gunk back there on the intake, it's pretty clean. So the next step is going to be to clean the gas tank out and get it somewhat restored. So here I'm out in my shop here with the good old trusty Cherokee that runs. Yeah, baby. And so here's the fuel tank out of the Briarwood. And let me just show you what it looks like inside. I let it dry out last night, and it's not too bad. Not too bad. Here are some photos of what it looked like before inside. We're gonna do the vice grip special here. I've got some assorted nuts and some unnamed toxic chemical. We're gonna put that in there and rattle it around and see if we can kind of help clean it out. All right, well, I'm gonna let that sit now for several hours while the fumes evaporate. But let's see, looks a little bit better in there. Good enough that I'm willing to give it a go, I'll put it that way. Let's let it dry out and take another look. So since I got the outside looking so good, I might as well do a little bit of work on the inside. And really, other than steering wheel, seats, that sort of stuff, she's actually really pretty good inside. So I'm gonna go through and vacuum it all out and get it cleaned up, since I'm gonna have to be doing some work in here. So got the jack and everything. And one thing that I think is really awesome, it's still got an original factory spare It's got the actual aluminum wheel that matches the other ones. So I'm going to vacuum it out and we'll take a look at the after. I'm just going to get to work. I have good news. This beauty came today. Looks a little bit damaged. It's got a couple of corners bent. That's all right. Brand new fuel tank. So we're going to take it, get all the stuff moved over, get the fuel pump installed, and get ready to put this bad boy into the Jeep. So just a little comparison here. I tried to clean this fuel tank out, and that's what it ended up looking like. That is just unacceptable. This is the new one. So pretty obvious why we wanted to do this. So we're going to drop in the new fuel pump now.
Hello.
Moving the hoses over. And one problem that I noticed is that the rubber on these vents, I mean, it's just completely deteriorated. And I hate to say it, but we're going to end up having to drop the tank again to fix that. But for now, I'm not sure what to do, but we'll have to just, we'll have to figure out we'll have to temp fix that. So I see dropping the tank again in the future, but this will work for now. We'll put some tape or something on it. Now we're going to install our fuel pump into the tank. I've gone ahead and put the gasket on here. This is the little strainer sock. This is the float that tells the vehicle how much gas is in the tank. I take care to not tear up either of them. On the other fuel tank, there was a little spot for this cone to go in. This tank doesn't have that provision, unfortunately. That baby shouldn't be going anywhere. All right. Don't see the gasket poking out anywhere, so we're good. Okay. Before I hook anything up underneath here, I'm gonna blow out the fuel lines. This is the vent tube line. I don't care about that. This is the return, and then over here is the supply. I'm upside down, so this may be kind of confusing. This is the supply and the fuel filter. And we got a new fuel filter, so we're going to change on that and then blow out that line next. But what I'm going to do, come here, Declan, you can help hold the camera for me if you can lay up underneath here.
I can hold the camera too.
All right, can you see that you're showing what I'm getting ready to do?
Just hang about. Okay, we gotta help my dad. If we hear air, we shall tell.
You ready?
Yeah. Yes, I hear air. That's a lot of air. Ah!
Anything else coming out?
I only hear air.
All right, that one's good. All right. This beauty is ready to go. She'll last the electrical tape for a little while. Then we'll drop her again after we run out the 5 gallons that's in it. But we're getting ready to go in it.
We're putting this in. The gas tank is going in. That's nice.
Off camera, in my meantime, I've been jacking around with this tonight just to see if I could make any progress with it, if it's even worth recording. So I got the fuel tank kind of tipped in, put some fuel in it. I had to struggle with getting the connector plugged in for the fuel pump, but I got it plugged in. And I've just done a test hookup of the battery. I put the key in now, turn it forward. The gas gauge came up a hair, which is a good indication. I thought I could hear the fuel pump running, so I'm just gonna, oh, the light came on, so that's good. I've only put about a gallon and a half in it, so let's see. Oh, she's trying to start. Oh boy! Oh boy! Heck yeah, baby! Got her running! I am super stoked about that. She hadn't run in a long time. We just started her, so smart thing to do here is just to let her idle for a little bit. I don't want to be cranking on that, torquing on it, hitting the gas. Oh, but she's got oil pressure, baby. Got oil pressure. Woo, mamacita! Check anti-lock. That's not reassuring. Oh, hell yeah. Time to move this thing. You're not gonna believe this, but I just turned the air conditioning on and this thing is blowing cold. The air conditioning still works. Oh my gosh. I am shocked. She's running, boys. Well, folks, that's where I'm going to leave you tonight. Just to summarize, we had to replace the fuel tank, the fuel filter, and the fuel pump, blow out the lines, purge them all out of all the nasty fuel that was in there. But this thing is running and the air conditioning blows cold. That is unbelievable. I am shocked. So join me next time when we'll do plugs, oil change, that sort of stuff on this thing. All the things we should do before we get it back on the road. But holy moly, it runs. I'm shocked. I'm blown away. But I'm tickled pink by that. So this baby is going to be a lot of fun now that she runs. And I can tell you right now that Mrs. Safety Optional is going to be super glad that it can move around and not be in the way anymore. So thanks for watching Safety Optional. I'll see you guys next time.